Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matt Wenning at winningstrength.com, and today we're going to talk about weight training for football players. Now, this is a highly debated topic, but I consider myself one of the top experts in this as an advisor for the Bears, the Browns, the Jaguars, and multiple other teams. So let's get to it. The first thing that we need to understand is that any level, being stronger is going to make you better. Okay, strength is one of the top things that makes somebody faster, makes somebody stronger, obviously, but also creates a high resilience for tissue, both active and passive, when we're tackling, getting hit, and most importantly, getting hit incorrectly, like at a bad angle, hurting our knee, hurting our hip, hurting our back, and in some cases, hurting our necks. The more muscle that we have on our body, the chances of those insurance policies being higher are much, much better. So this is why we need a high-level strength training program for all levels of football. Now, the big thing is that the weaker a person is, the more benefit that they will get out of the strength training for football. And that's why it's so important at the high school level to have a great strength training program, and why we've created very cost-effective manuals for not only individuals, but teams of all different types to be able to take this manual and utilize it to make sure that they're training as optimal as possible without actually going into super depth assessments of individuals and all kinds of different things that might cause the program to be actually optimal. Football in and of itself is a strength sport with speed applied to, and what we have to understand is that for a lot of people, if you're not strong, it's hard to be fast. If we look at the force velocity curve with strength training actually alters the force velocity curve, making us more explosive and stronger, but most importantly, we have to use the right exercises to do that. The right exercises are going to be squatting, deadlifting, trap bar deadlifts, farmer's carries, kettlebell swings, bench pressing, and what I consider most important, the posterior chain. The posterior chain is one of those huge muscle groups on the back side of our body that really limits us in almost everything we do. If our quadricep is really strong and our hamstring is really weak, we're going to have a deficiency in the knee and hip area, causing a reduction in power, strength, and safety. Same thing holds true with abdominals to lower back muscles, glute activation, as well as upper back movement patterns and muscle mass. So with those particular areas, we need to make sure that those areas are attacked predominantly in our training and utilized with the optimal amount of spacing and training. What we have to remember is that it's easy for us to get confused online when we see that people train really hard and they think that intensity is the way to go. That's only one small portion of the entire puzzle. The other major portion of the entire puzzle is that you're recovering those muscles in separate bouts long enough to see an actual progression in your training. And that's where the manuals and the coaching and the stuff that we do on the website is crucial for making sure that you're not only training hard, but you're also getting proper restoration times and restoration means. Now, there's a lot of different things that can be utilized for rehab in football, namely if we train the posterior chain. So we've already hit on that a little bit, but if we already have a pre-existing injury, we're trying to get our team to not be injured, one of the safest and easiest ways to do that is to create balance within the muscle systems, and then also make sure that we are training at an optimal rate. Now, if we've already passed that point and we've got injuries, it's very, very important to make sure that the muscle groups around the injury and the rest of the body are staying and maintaining or even progressing in strength, so that when it's time to go back on the field in maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, or a few months, the body is prepared for its activity and endeavor in the athletic realm. So this makes sense to make sure that the strength training program and the things that we do, not only in the off season, but both the preseason and during season, is insanely important, making sure that we have everything dialed in as closely as we can. Many strength drills for football are very similar to other sports. Squatting is one huge factor in how well we can not only run, but how fast we can change direction. And when applied correctly in a conjugate fashion, meaning squatting in different types, modalities, safety bar, chains, bands, box squats, all of these different variables, if done in the proper sequence, will allow us to not only transfer our strength to bigger barbell squats, but bigger performance on the field. This is where it's super important, and to have a lot of experience in which exercises to use at what time. So if you're trying to increase performance at no matter what level you are, come to winningstrength.com, check out the football manual, and check out the off-season manual, which we've used with a lot of pro and collegiate players in the off-season to see dramatic results. We hope to see you at winningstrength.com and talk to you soon.